Hello. We're just smiling at each other.
Grinning. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good. I like your red.
Some stuff.
Good.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
good.
kind of like orangey red.
Yeah, very nice. Well, we are here. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. Of course, that means one thing. We are here to launch a brand new one-day special. And I say specials because we've got lots of choice.
We have the main kind of one-day special offer is this here. So everything, there's 3 different colour options. So we'll start with the pink one so we can take you through what's in it. What you're getting is an absolute mega bundle of fabric. There are 10 half meters there.
Wow.
And you're also getting 4 fat quarters. Now these will all come from the same colour family. So we've got kind of pink, we've got a blue option and a green option that we'll see a little bit later on.
Okay.
But they're great for 2 reasons. One is they're a great stash builder. So if you're just looking to add to your stash things that you may use in different projects, great for that. And when we get over to the demo area, I'm just using that as a set to build up a piece. And because you've got so many pinks in, it doesn't matter that they're not exact matches. Because you're going all for the same kind of colour group, it works really, really well.
It does.
So you have
busy for this already.
You have the pink option. Now, you've got a lot of florals running through these, and you've got some kind of more plainy ones with your spots and your stripes. But you may recognise the odd one from different collections that Fabric Freedom have had on in the past. And what they've tried to do is kind of mix and match out of those collections that you've seen in the past, because that one I know is from the Arts and Crafts one. This one is from Watercolour Floral. I think this one is also from a different colourway of watercolour floral. So there's lots of different things running through there, but they're all on a lovely quilting weight cotton, and they will all work beautifully together because you can mix and match the whole lot.
Now, the thing that strikes me with this bundle is you've not got anything there that's too too bold, too in your face. So this is a nice, easy palette to work with.
Everything comes from one of their quilting collections, and Fabric Freedom are very, very good at designing fabrics which are smaller, which are a little bit kind of ditzier and easier to work with in those kind of for quilting or for smaller projects. So you're getting a fantastic mixture there. So again, that's 10 half meters. So that's 5 meters of fabric there, 4 fat quarters, obviously there's another meter there. So you're getting 6 meters of fabric in total for that £39.95.
That's phenomenal value
is
for money.
Just over £6.65.
That is good, because you're usually paying, well, it can be around £12.99, can't it?
I would say anywhere for a quilting cotton, anywhere between £12.99 on the cheaper end, and you can go up to £16, £18.99 on the more expensive end.
Yeah.
So that's about at £6.66. It's about half price of the cheaper end, and it's about a third of the cost of that more expensive end.
And beautifully pleasant designs as well. I like that a lot.
There's nothing that I kind of either won't go easily with the plain or won't kind of mix and match between them. There's plenty to choose from in there.
It's £32 savings. That one's your first colour option, your pink. Now, if you're thinking, I'm going to stretch to a couple of them, don't check out your basket just yet, because the blue is a beautiful one as well.
Yes, lots and lots of different blues in here again, remember, because what we're going for now is not an exact match. It's going for all of those different colours together. Ooh. That one's got quite a lot of blues. I do remember this one. I think we've shown you this one before. Nice. It's actually almost like a kind of graduated scale of blues. Yes. Going right from really, really light on that side to really, really dark, almost black there as well.
That'd be a nice one to kind of do, like almost like a checkerboard kind of effect, isn't it? Without having to do all the strips.
Yes, without doing like a log cabin, without having to do the strips. Really, really useful. So you get exactly the same again in this. 10 different ones ranging through all those blues, from the soft kind of powder blues through to the kind of more sky blues. The really, really kind of soft, more kind of, what would you call that?
Kind of like
it's more like a denim. It's like a washed out denim blue there. There are all sorts in here. And now individually you can work them on individual projects, but where these excel is actually putting them all together.
This is it. Now
And
the blues.
we'll show you that. We're using the pink for that
Okay.
at the demo area, so
Wonderful.
you can see how they kind of construct it
Now
all
the
together.
blues, again, same item number, you can see blue option on your screen, but the final one we're going to show you is the green. Top tip from me, and I'm sure that Hayley will agree on this one. If you're looking at getting hold of two and you've already made your choice between pink and blue, green blends in with everything.
Yes,
so if
this
you've
is
got
one
the
of the
green
things
next to
that
the
we've
blue works
been
and the
telling,
green with the pink.
You know, some of the guys who don't sew, is if you're stuck for something, maybe you've picked a couple of colours and you're stuck for something else to go with it, green or grey is always a brilliant option, because if you think about in nature, there's always green with everything. Grass, flowers, everything, trees. It will go with absolutely everything. And again, this one's a nice range of blues. So you've got your kind of minty blues in there.
Greens.
Yes.
Your greeny blues.
Yes, that's well. Oh, it's been a long day. So you've got those more kind of petrol-y, kind of greeny blues in there.
Nice.
You've got the really nice soft ones. You've got those ones with the florals in there as well. That one's got two lots of green. It's got kind of green for the background, and it's got a different kind of brighter green on the leaves. You've got your more sagey green up the top, more aqua.
Yeah,
there,
nice.
a really, really soft kind of pistachio green there, and then more of an olive green in the stripe there. So you're getting a huge mixture of greens, but chuck them all together and it will work.
Certainly will. Now you can go for any number of these, so you can either go for multiples of the same if you're wanting to, or maybe try one each of those. What a phenomenal bundle to have arriving at your door, all of these, 18 metres in total.
With the green one as well, there's two sneaky foiled ones in here.
Yes, they're nice,
which
those.
don't
Like a
seem
cherry
to appear
blossom.
in the other two. So green one is a fantastic bundle to go for.
And lots of guys at home liking that one. So
it's lovely.
it is lovely. Well, they all are, to be
It's
honest.
lovely.
At 49502, whichever of those you're choosing to go for, we're looking at £39.95, saving £32 with those. So yeah, take advantage while you've got the
I didn't
opportunity.
push it along far enough.
Oh, we're going further. Are we
Yeah, we're
carrying
going-
on? Oh, I thought we were going over to demo.
I'll go over there, then you can crack on.
All right,
Bye.
then. I'll carry on with the details. So the details on your screen for your one-day special. You've got your choices. You've got your pink, you've got your blue, you've got your green, and of course you can go for multiples of those. When you're looking at prices like that on your screen, I can really understand why many of you will be doing that, and we are incredibly busy. Green at the moment is edging it ahead, but not by a long chalk, to be honest. Lots of you are going for multiples of those. I don't blame you. Give you some updates as the hour progresses, but for the time being, if you're wanting to get hold of it, you've got flexi order on your screen, or flexi buy, which will open up your flexi order, which means you can add anything else in there. So what else would you like to add in? Because we've got loads to share with you. Those Celtic quilt fabrics, there are some beautiful ones with those. You have got your greys, you've got your greens again in there, and you've also got kind of like a minty green in there, really, really pretty. You've also got some nice solid tones as well, half metres of some of those. We've got some batiks on the show. There really is a whole host. And if it wasn't good enough with a one-day special, we've got a happy hour to share with you as well. So, of course, any of those items you fancy adding into your flexi order, then you're going to be spreading the cost over 2 payments. So, say it's a tenner, like you can see there with your cotton calico. It just works out a £5 on each one of those payments, there or thereabouts. And there are some brilliant reviews there from like-minded sewers who have taken advantage of some of those deals previously, and pop those items in the basket.
Hiya!
Right.
Yeah, I'm just pressing these seams open.
Okay.
Well, you're going to do the happy hour, so I thought that would give me enough time to
That is a good
get
point.
the last bit of this sewn together, so you can start seeing how it looks together.
Wonderful.
Can
That's
go here
cute.
now.
Cute for me to tell you about the happy hour. Now, this is brilliant because, as the title says there, this is a deal that is only good for this hour and this hour only. So already you can see that we've had we've got 51 minutes left for you to take advantage of this deal. Time is ticking away, and if you're wanting to take advantage of any of these, you need to get hold of them sooner rather than later. So the details are there on your screen. You just need to choose which of those you're going to go for. So £24.99 will get you any one of these. So we're looking at your teal and orange. Sorry, my talk back has just popped out. Let me just pop that back in there. I'm just randomly talking. I can't hear a thing at the moment. So
all right.
they're
I'll
probably
tell
telling
you
me
what
to
they
shut
are.
up. Go on, then you tell me, Hayley, while I plug myself back in.
The one that's nearest you, that's the teal and orange.
Lovely.
And then this one's the House by the Sea option. So with Fabric Freedom, you always have that big feature fabric. I'm just going to just randomly lean. Just going to
what I've
randomly
done
lean
here.
in. Look, there you go. That one's the main feature fabric. That's got the little kind of rows of houses. It's got the seagulls in there, the clouds, the boats. the lighthouse, everything is in within that larger feature fabric. And then what you'll find is they'll take elements from each of those, and then those 3 houses that you saw in that little terrace, that's what they've created this one as that's what they've used as an inspiration for this one. And then the next one uses those boats and anchors. The next one uses the fish. And the last one uses the seagulls. Now the reason the teal option, this is the teal and orange option, and the reason this one is my favourite is because the seagulls' feet are the right colour.
Okay.
And that makes me happy.
Fabulous. What colour are their feet on the others?
Well, you'll see.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes a bit out there. It's still lovely, but I like
who wants to be the same as every other seagull?
Well, they're really scary things, you know.
Seagulls are vicious.
I know.
All I'm saying is Lou in a prawn sandwich, that was it.
Oh, wow, there's a story.
And I didn't win.
Wow, you lost your prawn sandwich.
I lost my prawn sandwich, I was not happy.
Oh. So there are 2 other colourways in that one. So
apparently if you stare at them, they go away.
No, they don't. Not at all.
They've obviously not heard of that rule.
No, we haven't. This is the pink option. And then there is another stretching blue option. There you go, blue and red for this one.
That's a nice, easy one to work with.
Yes, I prefer the teal,
okay.
but I think this one's a really nice, easy selection to work with as well. And it's one of the things that Fabric Freedom do ever so well, is they try and stick to a kind of fixed colour palette and run everything with that same palette, so you don't have to think about it. It might not be a quilt that you're going for, it might just be, you know, maybe making beach bags or something like that. Then everything will work. So if you're wanting to do that as your main bag and then that as handles, or you wanted to applique or fussy cut little bits on, everything is going to work together.
Brilliant, I love that idea. The thing that I love as well is not only have you got obviously the whole set there that works well together because it's the same colour palette, but what you've also got is if you do go for multiples of these, then you have got obviously your kind of themes in all 3 colourways. So you could go for everything and use those 3 together, use all the fish together, use all of the seagulls together. But the key thing is it's a happy hour deal, which will mean that you can only get that price on your screen for the next 47 minutes or so. So 518-344, which are you going to go for? Are you going to go for multiples? Are you going to go for your teal? Are you going to go for your blue and red? Or are you going to go for your, I forgot what that one was. Blue and pink, yes. Whichever you choose, you know that you are investing in quality. £24.99, 518-344. Move those over a little bit. I've got packet fabric on there.
Hello.
That is.
What's that? Oh, they're mine. That's my blue set for later.
Very nice.
Sorry, I didn't tidy up. I'll just put that down there.
Very nice.
There you go.
She nearly lost them.
Well, they're a really nice set. I mean, we've done, a long time ago, we did some colourway sets before. And it's such a nice way to work because if you just stick to that one colour, you don't have to worry as much about size of pattern and what goes together, because as long as it's all the same colourway, it will work. So I'm just running the last of these together.
So where are we up to so far? So these strips, how
these
wide
are just
were they?
1.5 inch strips. I've just cut them approximately 1.5 inches.
Okay.
And I've just sewn a whole set together. So if you were just going to make a strip quilt and continue adding strips to it, you can see how it would work. And I'm just going to quickly get to the end here so you can hold it up, and then I can flatten out that last seam, and then we can get to cutting this up and making other patterns from it. But these are just exactly the same set of fabrics as we showed you at the counter there, just simply cut up into strips and then sewn back together again. And what I do recommend if you're doing this is sew them into pairs first.
Okay.
And then make sure if you've sewn them kind of top to bottom, so you've marked on which is the top of each strip. So your strips top to bottom, and then when you come to put those strips together, sew almost bottom to top. Yeah. Because what will happen is if you always sew in the same direction, you won't notice it, but you will always be like a millimetre, maybe 2 millimetres off. And by doing it in opposite directions, you'll kind of correct whatever that kind of outage is with the next one that goes in the opposite direction. So sew them in pairs, and then you sew your pairs the other way around. But just to make sure you're going the right way around, I've got a little bit off there, but I think we'll get away with it. If you just mark the top of each of your strips before you start sewing them together, so then you know where the tops are, so you know that one set's all going top to bottom and the other set you can go away from that.
Fabulous.
Okay, so if I just open that one up. Now that's just dead straightforward. All of those sewn
That's
together,
kind of cute as it
just as
is.
strips. So that's really cute as it is. You could make that into bags, cushions.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all 10 of them.
Yes,
yeah.
that's all 10 of them. I didn't put the fat quarters in
Yeah.
because they weren't in my bag of fabrics.
Okay.
Sad face. Oh,
They're
they
nice
weren't in
like
my
that.
bag of fabrics, but you can just do it dead simply like that, sewing them together and creating projects that way. But what we're going to do is start cutting into this, sewing it back together,
Okay.
and creating kind of more kind of effects.
But nice and easy. Just use it. I mean, so
Yeah.
far you've done your technique where you kind of snip and you kind of pull the
Yes,
fabrics, which shows the quality of fabrics to be able to do
I
that as well.
have ripped these just because I'm not a big fan of a rotary cutter.
Mm-hmm.
I've had too many accidents.
But the thing
Too
is,
many
people who are
accidents.
watching who might be novice sewers who fancy getting
have
their teeth
balls
stuck
and-
into something,
yeah.
they don't have all the tools, they don't want to invest in
Yes.
everything.
No, you
so
don't
just
have
by
to.
having a
You
pair of
absolutely
scissors.
don't have to. So you've got, these are my off-cut bits actually, and I was going to use these tomorrow because there are different things you can do. You should never throw these bits away because there are different bits you can do with these. So we're going to keep these for tomorrow.
Lovely.
Pop them there. Okay, so from here, what's under there? Oh, it's a screwdriver. There we go.
As you do.
From here, I would just press that to the seam that I've just sewn. You can see the one that's kind
Oh,
of rolling
yes.
a little bit
Okay.
there. So I pressed that out so I was dealing with a piece that was nice and flat. Now, if you have seen any of the guys who do Bargello quilts, that's something you can do from this point. So
Okay.
all you would do is you would take strips and you would just vary the width of those squares that you take. So maybe you want to start with a 2 inch and then a 1.5 inch, then a 1 inch. And what that will do is when you sew them back together, it will give you varying widths. And what you do to create that Bargello, that kind of movement in the quilt, is just step them
Okay.
across. So instead of sewing, cutting, well, let's just do it.
It's
Do you know
easier
what?
sometimes.
Yeah, let's just do it. So I'm just going to straighten this edge off first.
No, we've got the details on the screen for you one day special. The fabrics that Hayley's working with are just some of those from within that bundle. You've also got 4 fat quarters in there, so yet another metre for the price that you've got on your screen. And we're looking at strips that have been cut from those half-metre pieces. You're getting 10 half metres, 4 fat quarters, which equates to 6 metres in total for £39.95, which works out at £6.67, was it? 65. Oh,
Close
2p out.
I'll let you have that.
That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can have that.
Okay. So yeah, you can see why it's proven to be so popular. And what's even better is it's not just the pink option that's available to you. We've got some gorgeous greens and some beautiful blues as well. But of the green option, a quarter of the stock has gone already.
Usually you'd have to get 2 of them to get a
Yes.
flexi buy on it
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
And this time you don't. You can
That's
just have the
right.
one.
I can't see people just going for one of these
I
one-day
have
specials. There.
roughly cut that to a kind of a 2 inch one.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to cut a slightly narrower one for my next
And
one.
again, this is showing you that although obviously originally you started off at roughly 1.5
Yep.
inches, you don't need to measure it precisely.
No, you can get away with quite a lot. And what I'm doing is I've just done half of it, kept my kind of eye in there, so I know by folding it in half there that if I cut to that line, I'm going to be about the right size. And then
Lovely.
to create that kind of staggered effect, what we want to do is move that one up one.
Aha.
I would unpick that
Yep.
and attach it to the bottom, and then my next one along would do the same again. Move it up one, unpick those 2, add them onto the bottom, and what that's going to do is create that kind of movement
Right.
when we build the quilt up. And it's a really, really simple thing to do, but it's going to create quite a nice effect. And the different sizes, different widths that you use will also create a bit more of a curve. So the when you're going from narrower to smaller, it's going to kind of shrink that curve and make that curve look tighter.
Yeah.
So there's lots of nice and interesting things we can do. So we'll put these together
Okay.
just as a little kind of sample to make a little bit of a cushion
Yeah, that
front
sounds
for
good.
it. But you could, if you wanted to, once you've got it into that plate position, start moving them round a bit more. So it was a bit more of a kind of a
okay.
patchwork.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's exactly the same. That's pointless. But you could just
Top and tail them.
and tail them. That one's that way. There we go.
And then you'll
top and
kind of
tail
get
them.
that.
And then you'll get that
Yeah.
going through the middle.
Nice,
But
like that.
really, really just start. If you're not sure what to do with it, it's a really nice place to start. And all I've done is taken a tiny strip off of each of them, an 1.5 inch strip off of each of them. But then that's going to give me lots of different options of how to put it together and allow you to have a little bit of play, work out what you think works with each other, and then away you go.
And that's it, 1.5 inches off each of those pieces, and you've got 10 of them.
Nothing.
Put them all together, it makes a huge piece of fabric that can then be a cushion cover or the front of a cushion cover, or
I mean, there's
whatever you like.
You know, there's 10 half meters there, plus your fat quarters as well. 10, that's 5 meters. That's, if you did it like this, that's a full king size.
Well, this is the thing.
Thread
It's a
topper
there
for
is
a
a
quilt.
lot
There's a
there for
huge
your
amount
money.
of fabric there.
So if you are perhaps thinking about your first ever quilt project to make for your bed, then yeah, one day special could be enough fabric for you to do so. You obviously need your backing fabric, which we can help you with those. We've got some nice plains that you could add in, and of course things like your wadding, you'll find all of those on the website. So there's lots and lots that you could be adding into your
What
basket.
I'm also going to do is we've done things before where we've had pretty precise kind of matches and things, and if that's something that you're worried about and you're just getting into quilting, then it doesn't have to have that really exact match up the side every time. So if you just stagger them, so say we move that to there, but instead of trying to get those really, really precise joins, if I just go like that,
Almost like a brickwork.
yeah, you can use that effect
Takes
to
the pressure
then
off.
take the pressure off. Exactly, take the pressure off. So I think that's what we're going to do with this one.
I'm trying to think who is, we had somebody who was doing a Bargello quilt, and what they actually
John?
did. No, I think it might have been Roxy from Hannah's Room.
Yeah, Hannah's. I was going to say that was Hannah's room.
I think
possibly.
it might have been, and she actually made it into a tube.
Oh,
And
right.
then cut it
and
into
then
the
cut
strips
it.
and then just unpicked, and
Yeah.
it meant that she didn't have to stitch
Keep
those other little
undoing
bits
and-
back
yeah,
on.
no, that's a great idea.
So yeah, there's loads of ways of doing
there
it.
it is. Well,
Are you
also was a
all right
great
down there?
idea.
Oh, that's a
See-
little unpicker.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm a little person. I'm a little person. Sorry, that was not helpful at all. I'm in a very silly mood today. I
That's okay,
apologise
that's allowed.
now for that.
So you're just going to unpick one
Yeah,
of those?
I'm just going to unpick one of these.
Okay.
Yes, sewing them in a tube. If you've got a bigger bit, perfect. I mean, in smaller bits, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Well, this is it. Don't make it too
easier.
tricky,
Yeah.
too complicated, but simply just taking those strips. I think as Hayley's shown us here, you can strip it back and make it as easy as you want it to be. Shall I step away and do a review?
Why not? Why? There's
Because
loads
what are you going
of
to do
other
while I'm
bits.
away?
All I'm going to do while you're away is I'm going to attach where I've unpicked there.
Yeah,
I'm going to take that
to the other end.
to the other end, attach it there, and then I'm going to start building, a couple of strips together so you can see it
Wonderful.
start to build. But
Okay.
yes, it's going to take me a couple of minutes. So if you would like to go, there's loads of other stuff.
Well, I'm not
actually.
going to go far. I was going to just do the happy hour, unless you want me to tell
Okay.
people about other things.
Well, there's lots of new stuff as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So you
All
can
right.
if you like.
All right, shall we start off
It's
with the
up to
happy
you.
hour? I don't mind. Well, I'll start off
What
with
do
the
you
happy hour and
fancy?
we'll see how it goes.
What do you
Just-
fancy?
Well, I wouldn't mind looking at some of the new stuff as well.
I'll tell you what, you do what you like and I'll just sew some stuff
Okay,
together.
all right. We'll start off with the happy hour. They keep shouting, happy hour, happy hour. We'll do the happy hour first.
Just 'cause it's like when mobile phones ring. It's not a. I see it as more of a request than a command, and that's the way I look at producers in earpieces as well. It's more of a request than a command.
There you go, you've been told. Now, happy hour.
So
what
don't
I-
listen to them, Hayley.
Yeah,
Don't listen to them.
I just unplug it like
Just
I did
go
at the beginning.
rogue. Yeah, just unplug it.
Now,
Do
you've
what we like
got
then.
36 and a half minutes to take advantage of your happy hour deal. And we've got 3 options for you. So let's start off with the teal and the red, seeing as that's the first one that's on your screen. Each one of these you are going to get 4 pieces. So you've got your teal and your orange. In here you've got exactly the same prints but different colourways. This is Hayley's choice, and of course she does like this. She saw the teal earlier on and we chatted about those and like those as well. So here you've got your fishes, your little fishes there, as you can see there, swimming away. This particular one is still, I think they've turned your mic off now, yeah. Can't hear you, just a figment of our imagination now in the distance.
You'll have to pass
in the
it on.
distance. Then you've got your little boats there. But you've got your sailboats, you've also got your little rowboats in there, you've got your seaside town, as you can see, they're in strips, which would be fabulous to work with in the way that Hayley's working with the fabrics. And then, of course, you've got your larger, kind of your hero print or your lead fabric, as we often see from Fabric Freedom. So this one surprising, is the one that's most popular. Lots of you are thinking the same way as Hayley Smith is thinking. So £24.99 will get you all of those. Brilliant value for money if you're wanting these. Now, is it a half metre piece in each of these?
Yes.
Yeah, half metre piece in each of those. So there you go. That's your teal and your orange. Which one should we look at next? Blue and red. This one, I like this one. Now, this one, very traditional with your seaside tan.
That was my second favourite.
This is your second favourite. You are allowed second favourites. You can only have 3 favourites though in this because we've only got 3 options. Okay. So there we go. There is your
bother with the pink one then.
your bluey sea-tide tan. You've also got your penguins with red feet. Okay. Which is okay. They might have the red socks on. You've got your fish there, as you can see, and then you've got. Oh, hang on. Have we got? Oh, hold on. We've got the.
To try and see you get
there we
socks
go.
on a seagull.
Well, I should tell you a story about something that got my little dog last week. I'll explain that to you, but off air. So there we go. You've got your little. I've missed out that one, so apologies. The seagulls have jumped across, so it's 5 pieces you're getting in each of them. These. Where have we got to? Yes, your fish. So you've got your red and your blue fish. You've got your little sailing boats there, as well as your little rowboats, and then of course your seaside tan. And then your final one that you've got with this one is your blue and pink. And again, you are getting those prints, but in different colourways again. So again, the tan, the seagulls, the fish, the little little boats there, and then your tan as well. So 518344 if you're wanting to get hold of these. All on the same item number, so if you fancy going for all 3, then you can do, and of course you can add them to your one-day special order and spread the cost over 2 payments as well. It really is a fabulous hour for you to be taking advantage of your fabrics, but you've only got a little over half an hour to take advantage of it, so do it as soon as you possibly can. Now, other things I'm going to share with you are the boutiques. These are beautiful, lots of different options, so the website is the best place for you to go. So with these, you have got any 3 that you can choose. They're gorgeous quality, and of course the thing with boutiques is you can flip those over and it doesn't really matter because you haven't necessarily got right and wrong side with these, but what you have got is kind of colourways. So you've got your orange and your purple and your pinks and your oranges and all sorts of wonderful prints with these. Again, if you're wanting to take advantage of these, all you need to do is click on that plus button. It will add it to your basket, and then you can check your basket out. You can go for multiples of the same if you want to, or just mix them up, but you can choose any 3 of those, and when you've chosen them, they will be popped into your basket, but your basket does not automatically check out. You've got about 10 minutes to take advantage of those. So if you are wanting those, then please do it as soon as you possibly can. Got the one-day special again on your screen, which is what we're back and working with our Hayley.
Yes, so there are 3 different options in this. The options are pink, blue and green. If you're not sure, go for a green one because it will go with anything. So all I'm doing here is sewed them all together, and now I'm chopping and changing and moving my seams joins, so I'm not having to be so precious about joining those up, and I'm changing the width and really going just for quite a free form patchwork on it, just to show you how well, I mean, when you look at them as individual fabrics, they just look so different, and you think, how on earth is that going to work? But that's exactly what we're going to show you. So I've got a wider one here, so I can either make it match up with the previous ones, or we can flip it round. Maybe quite like it about there actually. So I've got those 2 matching.
Okay, then just unpicking those little
just going to unpick those 2 and move them about. Now the beauty of having them so you can unpick them is what I can do is turn them around. Because with the Bargello, you want them to always be in the same order, because that's how you create that effect.
That wave.
Yeah, that's how it gets that wave effect. But when you're going for more of a kind of random look, instead of me having that, instead of that being there where it was and in the right order, I could even just turn those 2 round.
Yes, yeah.
Or I can add it to the other end that way up. I can turn it. So it gives you a little bit more kind of freedom by doing that. Where do I want it? Do I want it that end? Do you know what? I think we might go that way. So we're moving that darker one into
nice.
the middle.
Kind of opening up. Yep.
And then we'll pop that one on the end. Excellent.
And I like this as well because it's very much a kind of country cottage kind of look, isn't it?
It is kind of doing
that
men's
mismatch
look.
of teapots and teacups and all that kind of look.
I haven't got enough space to cut and use a giant sewing machine, so I just apologise for lifting it up and down, but it's the only option I have. Come Come on, cut it. Please. Thank you. Very polite sewing machine, and also very polite. You know when the automated voice comes on your phone?
Okay, yeah.
And it wants to like help you with things, and you haven't asked it to, it's just trying to help. Very polite to it then as well, because when the machines rise up and take over, then, you know, at least we start a fighting chance.
I always say thank you at the self-checkout as well, but I do it automatically. I don't even think about it.
I'll tell you what you can do. If you want to chop that into some more strips, and we'll just build a bit more and more of this up so we can see. But save me a square bit.
Okay, well, let's cut that off first then, because otherwise I'll forget.
I'll cut that off first. So if you haven't got all your kind of measuring tools and things, I mean, yes, you could do it with a tape measure and have a look, but to get a square, whatever the length is, whatever the height is here, by me folding it like that into a triangle, that length there is going to be the same as the height of the piece in the first place. So by me now cutting down there, I know I'm going to end up with a square piece of fabric.
There you go.
So I shall take this piece off, and then we can chop up the rest. Jewellery been in this morning?
They have, that was Dizzy, I think. Dizzy's left a jump
Makes a
ring
change
behind.
from the paper people sticking up your tables. No offence, paper people.
I'm taken.
Okay. I'm sorry. I love the paper people, really. But
No.
they do leave a sticky residue.
Not the
They do leave like a sticky glitter residue behind them. Doesn't really compatible with fabric.
That'll be the adhesive, not the crafters.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up. Just like a snail trail.
No, don't get it. One day special. We're busy. The
on,
green is proving to be one of the most popular. In fact, they all are. But approaching half the stock of the green has gone. How wide do you want these to be?
It's random.
Okay.
Absolutely random. I just want to prove that, you know, even if you don't have, you know, any confidence in your sewing abilities, then this is a great way to start, because you can literally, any width, any size, just put it together and you'll still come out with a really pretty result.
Went off a
Which
tiny
way
tad
are my
there.
seams going? There we go. I'm just, because I've pressed all these open, I'm just making sure that I hold that one down as it goes under. The other side I'm not so fussed about. That's already been sewn down, so that's fine. I can keep that one where it is. Oh, I've got quite a skinny seam allowance on there.
You've been stingy.
Yeah, I've dropped off the end, so I'm going to start it again. I'm just going to move my needle back across a bit.
With a project like this, do you need to make sure your seam allowance is the same all the time?
It's not as important.
Okay.
Because it is a little bit more free form. I mean, the 1/4 inch seam allowance and having that really consistent benefits those really accurate projects you have where you're working to kind of quite tight tolerances when you're fitting together triangles with squares and all sorts of other shapes. With this, because it's a little bit more free form, it doesn't matter so much. You're more going for a rustic look overall than a great accuracy.
Okay.
Chop that off. And just move this out of the way for a second so we can open this up. There you go. See, I think I've gone a bit astray. See how it's baggy, how it's sitting quite nice and flatly there, but it starts to get a little bit baggy here. You see that? Right. That's because I have not sewn in a particularly straight line. So all I would do is
all right, I'm not
press
cutting in a
it.
particularly straight
That's
line
fine.
either.
That's fine. So all I'll do is I'll press it, and where I've put that crease line, there you go, I can then flip that back the other way. I can see where my crease line, I mean, you can see where I've gone off there. I've gone right the way out on a bit of a wobble. So if I then take my machine back, I'll take it just past that join, do that join, and then follow my crease line that I've added, and that will straighten it out. I'm always a big fan of having been quite honest in my demonstrations, and if I'd made a mistake, I'd rather fess up to it and show you how to fix it than have beautiful demos that always go right.
But the thing is, things can happen at home, can't they? So it's good when it doesn't quite go according to plan.
Where we had that bagginess and that problem there, that's now gone. So it's really, really easy to fix, and this is what we're saying about the freeform way of doing it is quite nice, to just have that little bit of freedom, to just have a bit of fun. You'll find pressing as you go really, really helps, because you can get rid of a multitude of sins with a good iron.
You can, yeah. And they do say a dry iron when you are working, but to be honest, yeah, a bit of heat, occasionally a little bit of steam.
I like this little skinny one.
Is that? I thought I'd...
No, I like it.
Is that all right?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Right, I think I'm still a bit wonky at that top, you know. I'm going to just stitch down there again, just a little bit more. I think I've just not quite gone far enough. Come up, there we go. That's it. That's
that side over there.
It's just still a little bit baggy on that end for me. And that's the thing, you can go back and forth as many times as you need. There we go, that's a bit better. And just keep adding on those layers. So I'm going to put that one, shift it up.
It's very strange sitting down and cutting, I must admit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, why? Do you want it on that side?
Shoulder up by my ear.
Where?
It's not a bit of a...
There. Yep, I'm happy with that. Let's go with that. The straighter you can get them, obviously the easier it is, but the best thing you can do is give yourself a nice, generous seam allowance on these. I'm going to put that back to the centre because I think that's putting my eye off. There we go.
This will probably be the last cut.
And you just keep building it up and up and up, and just, it's one of those projects where you just have a little bit of fun with it. I'm just going to cut that off because I think
nice scissors as well.
Original one I cut a little bit wonky.
Are these scissors you bring to us, Hayley? Nice scissors?
No, they're old ones that I got for my birthday. My birthday last year, I was 41, and I got 41 presents off my other half. 10 of which
I thought you were going to say 41 pairs of scissors. I was going to say that's a bit...
10 of which
were scissors.
10 of which were scissors. Yep. I don't mind though. I really like scissors.
Well, they're always useful.
I was quite happy with that. Big ones, little ones. All I've got in my ear now is, what else did you get? I got golf lessons.
You got what lessons?
Golf lessons.
Golf lessons? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know you were a golfer.
Guess what my golf instructor's called?
What is your golf instructor called?
Well, he says his name's Mr. Twizel.
Twizel?
But it's spelt T-W-I-Z-Z-L-E. That's Twizzle.
That was Twizzle.
That's Twizzle all day long.
He's definitely.
Sounds like a magician. I like it. Sorry. This information has no bearing on making this
I've got a hankering for a turkey Twizzler now.
What other sizes have you got?
I don't know, where do you want to go? We have a selection.
I'm going to have another
little one. Some are straighter than others, I'm not going to lie.
That's fine, I don't mind. This is the thing, it really doesn't matter for this because you can go back in and adjust it and just trim that excess off later. It really, really doesn't matter. It's more about having that kind of rustic, kind of country, vintage,
and it's just
that kind of look to
a bit of sewing for the fun of sewing, not for the maths of it, not for the pristine, lining up almost award-winning quilting. There you go.
Oh, thanks. It's too small.
So you need a big one.
Well, that's my fault for bringing one that's too small, isn't it? So where am I going to split this one? You do need to press as you go, especially with these smaller bits, because they will not stay flat on their own. Where are we going to go? I quite like those up there, but I think I'm going to split it here and then just turn that one around. Oops. Was it there I was going to split it? Let's have a look. There you go. And they come apart quite easily because you're working in smaller bits. You're working at a point where you've only got little bits of stitches in between them, so you can quite easily split them and move them around. So I'm going to place that one there-ish, and that one we're going to flip the other way around and then reattach. So it is one of those really kind of simple, fun, you're just sewing because you want to make something pretty. You don't have to have too much of a focus, but the bundle that you've got, you know everything is going to work together. You're not going to have to go and find matches for anything. It's just it is simply a one for the joy of sewing.
Now you're making a cushion cover on this occasion. We've already, let me just bring those other fabrics
We're going to make it, I mean, that could easily be bag sized. It
Yeah.
could be cushion cover sized. You could put some edging round it, put some binding around the edge. It could be placemats. It could, you could extend it, make it into a table runner. It can be anything you want. All you're doing is taking all of those 10 variations, plus you've got your fat quarters, remember, which could be maybe backs for it if you wanted. You're taking those 10 variations, adding them together to create your own fabric.
I mean, that piece there, because it is a square, you could quite easily cut it down the middle and unpick horizontally and have some twisting, some going vertically, some going horizontal, and then you're just making a quilt out of stripes.
Yes, absolutely. But because everything is already kind of put into a colourway for you, so you're working in all pinks, all blues, all greens, then you know it's going to ultimately all work together. And though they are from different collections and they are completely different looks to them, because I mean, it's a nice way to go through them all, actually. So you've got that one at the bottom there, which is a paste print. Now, paste print is a white print on a coloured background, kind of nice pastel-y pink. And then this is from one of the new collections that we've got on here. Okay. It's got like almost a mottled, not quite a batik background, but a really kind of soft blend on the background, and then those almost bleached out spots on the top. This one's a really, really almost purpley puce colour on the background. But when it's mixed in with everything, you're not as concerned about getting, because I mean, that would be quite a hard colour to match.
Yes, yeah.
But by working with it in this way, you don't need to worry about that. You've got the really kind of ditzy classic 40s floral print. You've got a chintz style print there. That's the one from the Arts and Crafts collection. You've got these really nice kind of almost floral, round, almost mandala type patterns on there.
It's kind of like a soft geometric, that one. Like
that one's more of a coral that you've got on this one with the watercolour roses. Quite a lot of green in this one with the
got a bit
flowers.
of a Japanesey look to it.
Yes, almost a Japanese blossom to it. And then this one at the top is a linen look print, so it's got that kind of woven, exaggerated woven print on it, which it is just printed on. The actual weave of the fabric is much finer than this, but it's just got that kind of, almost, it's like they've taken a picture of quite a heavy weave linen and then
put it onto the fabric.
Put it onto the cotton. But you've got lots of different ways that you can work with these, and it's a really nice bundle to just have a little bit of a play with.
Yeah, like that
just
idea.
Simply go for it.
Now I'm going to let you carry on with your sewing. You're putting your back together. And
I need to do some sewing
and
and some ironing. I'm going to take all these bits, unpick them, sew them back together. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Buying bits of fabric to chop it up and sew it back together.
Yeah, my mum could never quite get grasp what quilting is. Like, why chop it up and then sew it back together?
And then sew it back together?
Because you make it look different, and that's what it's all about. And that's why you need lots of different fabrics, and that's what you've got in not only your one day special, but your happy hour deal. 3 options with your happy hour deal. So we're looking at a town by the sea. Now you've got 3 different options with regards to these. The one we're looking at the moment is your pink and blue. This one is, oh lovely, it's kind of like a dusky pink with those. Then you've got your blues and reds with your very traditional seaside colours there, very nautical style, that particular one. And the next one, which is the one that many of you are going for, is the teal and the orange. So yeah, maybe you're going to go for that one. We've only got 16 minutes though, because it's going to go up in price, and it's going to go up by a whopping great £25. So it is like a half price deal, which means if you want to take advantage, this is the time to do it. While I've stepped away from Hayley, while she's doing her unpicking and sewing back together and pressing and all that thing, then yeah, now is the time for you to place your order. But don't forget to add in your one day special. So this is the first recap that we've given you with these, and we are very busy. We're very busy indeed, because you're getting 6 metres worth of fabric for £39.95. You're getting your 10.5 metres, so these pieces across here equate to 5 metres in total. And then you are getting your 4 fat quarters, which is your extra metre, your 6 metres. Actually works out at £6.67 per metre. 65. Ooh, did it wrong again. Never mind. £6.65 for a metre. And this quality, this is quilting cotton, quilting grade cotton, £12.99 at least you'd be paying for these. Some of them, especially the ones with the foil on there, you'd be looking towards £18.99 to be fair. Here you've got a gorgeous palette of pinks, but not just your pale pinks, your peachy pinks, your deep rose style pinks with these. You've got a couple of polka dots in each one of these. You've got stripes featuring, you've got your solids, but they are all on that perfect pink palette, which means that they're all going to work well, which is just as we've seen with Hayley. 30% of the stock has gone of your pink, so if you're wanting to go for these, do suggest you go for them as soon as you possibly can. 419502. But before you check out your basket, got the other options. See the blues and the pinks, and you've got little pink tones in here, peachy tones in here, so of course they're going to cross over. It might be that you're taking one of the fabrics from here and teaming it with one of the fabrics we've previously seen. That's the beauty. When you've got 6 metres worth of fabric, you've got lots of choice, lots of options. But instantly, I love this. I love working with blues and denims at the moment, and this will just lend itself beautifully. Absolutely gorgeous to use for your quilting. A very pretty fabric if you wanted to use it on a lining for something, but more so where you can see the lining, you know, where you've got kind of like a turnover at the top, because these are just too pretty to hide away. Again, 6 metres, again you're looking at £6.65 per metre with these, and again you can go for more than one set if you're wanting to. 419502 being that item number is your second option. It's your blue option, and it's proven to be very popular as well. Final one for you is your greens, and you've got everything from your pale subtle tones of your greens through your aquas to some quite deep tones with your greens in here as well. Again, your polka dots featuring here. You've also got your stripes featuring with these. Beautiful quality, and again 6 metres, £6.65 for the quality that we've got here. I mean, that one there, well, both of those, that kind of Japanese cherry blossom look, you are paying £6.65 a metre. 2 flexi buys of £19.98 mean that you can add other things into your basket as well, but for the time being, those are your one-day specials. You've got your pink there, you've got your blue, you've got your green as well. Each one of those £39.97. Pop them into your baskets, pop them in multiples if you wanted to, because it is phenomenal the amount of fabric you are getting. And if you've been thinking about making a quilt but you don't want to extend the kind of costs, then this is definitely the way to do it. Makes it very affordable, and also that takes a little bit of the pressure off when you're crafting. So yeah.
I was just looking to see if you had heels on, because I'm standing on the box and I'm still not bigger.
We're about the same height.
Face.
I've got a bit of a tufty bit, so that makes me a bit taller. Put it in there.
I can resolve this.
Oh, we're going up. Oh,
see if I can get some height here.
Get a bit taller.
See if I can get taller.
Yeah, you win.
There, yeah. Let's just be bigger with hair.
Now, we haven't had a chance to have a look at these yet.
No. Okay, so these are new ones, absolutely brand spanking new ones from Fabric Freedom.
Okay.
And we've been asking them for more kind of blender fabrics, more things that are a little bit more subtle, that will go with a lot more colours. And this is what they've come up with. Now, there's a very, very kind of soft, more of a faded, almost a batik, more of a tea-dyed type of
it's almost like you've got little bleached out elements.
Yes, you have, like it's been sitting, you know, scrumpled up and sitting in the sun, and then you've got 2 different options of the pattern that comes on the top of them. So one is your kind of faded out, your bleached out spots, and then the other is really, really small flowers and leaves, so more of a kind of floral vibe to it. Really, really pretty. Now, these would work really well as just kind of pairs in their own right, or working them together in a quilt. Got, I think it's 10 different colour options here, actually. So I'm going from bottom to top on each of them, because that's how I've remembered them.
That's fair enough. Sounds good to me.
That is how I've remembered them. So we've got grey at the bottom there.
Very
now,
nice.
To the camera, it looks like quite a dark grey. To the naked eye, it's a little bit lighter. It's also got kind of a tint of blue to it. It's one of those where if you put it with kind of greys, it will look grey.
Yes.
If you put it with blues, it will look blue. It's one of those kind of colour shifting ones. So you've got grey. Then you've got your beige. Now, is this an olive green?
Yes. I think that's olive green. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Then we've got light green. Now, there's 2 different blues. So there's light blue, which is this one up here.
Yeah.
And then there's another one down the bottom, which is next to that grey, which is sky blue. But what I'm actually going to do is just bring all those three together, because if you were looking for something quite subtle, those three would actually work really nicely together. So this one is the light blue, the bluer blue is the sky blue.
Okay.
It's clear as mud tonight, isn't it?
But basically, if you're going for the blue option with your one-day special, I'd go for those three as well, because they would work really well. So yeah, nice.
And then we've got the dark purple, the lighter purple. Now, on the screen, our screen there, I mean, your screen may look slightly different at home, it's actually got more of a kind of pinky puce tone to it. It is quite nice and bright, that one. And then you've got lilac, and finally pink at the top.
There you go. So those are your different options.
And this is the same pink that is in the thing.
Look at that.
So if you did want a bit more, maybe to add a bit more of a certain colour in, or to use as backings, linings, bindings, things like that,
Good idea.
then that's an excellent way to add some more.
Like that idea. There you go. If you fancy those, then there are lots of options to choose from.
What I was sewing together.
£9.99. You're saving a fiver on those, and you are getting your 2.5 metres. Brilliant value for money again. 655 965.
You're covered in fluff now.
Am I?
Yep.
That's just one of those things from sewing, isn't it? It gets everywhere. Everywhere. I shall sit and pick off those little
bits. Better than a sticky residue from paper crafting. Bye!
There you go. And on that note, I shall take you for a trip on the website. There's lots there for you to consider, including those fabulous Celtic fabrics as well. I might bring a set of those with me, just shows to tempt you, because we haven't seen them up close, and we've got 3 options, so just so we should know what they are, because on the website you can't always tell, can you? So yes, I mean, you can see there you've got your blenders there, you've got those fabulous batiks, you've got amazing shimmer fabrics as well. If you've seen those before, you'll know just how amazing those are.
Yeah, the shimmer
But something that we've got, and these are quite new, these Celtics.
Yes, these are new Celtics. Now, we've brought you a Celtic design before from Fabric Freedom, which has got quite a lot of gold foiling on it.
Yeah.
Very similar in terms of the Celtic theme, but far more subtle.
Yes, yeah.
This one. They are really nice, soft designs. Great for projects for guys who maybe don't want such a loud, bright, brash option. Really, really nice. Limited in the kind of colour palette. There's only 2 or 3 colours in each of them, and there's just more variations in patterns in this one. So you've got your main kind of feature fabric, which would be that one there that's got the kind of larger squares on, and then they've taken the designs through, and you can see they're repeated throughout all of them.
Beautiful, nice and subtle. You're going to choose any one of these for £12.99, and you've got your Celtic knot designs, you've got your sage, you've got your mint, and you've also got your blue. Check them out on the website. To be honest, the website's the best place to go for those, because you'll be able to see the different options way simpler than me showing them to you. Sorry, Hayley, I just thought it was important to show people those.
We haven't got as far as them yet, have we? Because we're too busy playing. Fabulous. And that's exactly what we have been doing with this, playing with the one-day special, because that is exactly what it's designed for. It's designed to kind of take the pressure out of the sewing and just have a bit of fun with it again. And because all the bundles are already set up for you, so you've got that variation of colour, all you're looking to do is cut and stick. Cut and stick, cut and stick. Cut it apart, sew it back together, and it doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, we're doing this at a pretty fair pace. There has been no rulers, there have been no
excuse me, sorry,
kind of specialist tools in there, but we're coming out with
look at this.
Really cute.
That's nice.
Effects, and just mixing up the size of ones that we're adding in. So there's quite more small ones here, bigger one there. Now, if I thought when I came to it, well, actually, I'm not sure about that big one. I think it's a bit big.
Cut it down the middle.
Cut it down the middle, add some more bits in. So you don't have to be precious about this method of putting things together. But what I'm actually trying to achieve are 2 bits that are roughly the same size. Yeah. So then we can create a bag, one side that's got the kind of striped finish, one side that's got the kind of mixed finish. And remember, this has been made from just a 1.5-inch strip from each of the fabrics in the one-day special. So there
is that what's left over?
Is what is left.
Wow, gosh, there's loads there. My goodness.
That's why I left it on the back of the chair, so you could see how much is left over.
Wow.
There's a huge amount.
There is
of
loads
fabric
in there
still, and we've used such a tiny fraction, and that's why we've been saying, you know, working in this method and having that bundle, which is a whole colour palette together, it means you can literally just chuck it all together, not worry about it. I mean, you could use this technique and go on and build up and up and up and up and have an absolutely huge piece.
Yes, yeah.
By the end of it, which would be, you know, look fantastic as a bedspread, and it's taken very little in terms of skill.
Yeah.
It takes time.
A little bit, and also very little in the way of tools, because it's just literally your scissors. That's all that you've been using in your sewing machine.
No, I mean, yes, you probably need a sewing machine, and yes, you need a pair of scissors and an unpicker. But other than that, very little in the way of tools. In terms of skills, you are not needing to get kind of perfect pattern matches and things, because you are going for that kind of rustic, make do and mend, mix and match look. That's exactly what you're going for.
And if you do your paper piecing, then these prints are absolutely perfect.
Perfect for paper piecing as well.
Absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, Hayley's going to be back with us at 8 o'clock with Yanis, so we will see how this piece develops. You're going to pop in and say good evening, Hachanda, to us?
Don't know.
Okay, she might. She might not. Have we got any snacks? I don't know, because you see, sometimes
I've got some in my car. Can I bring my snacks with me?
You can, yeah.
Okay,
sure.
that's fine.
I don't have to share. You can't. I was going to say, you can't just bring them and eat them.
I've been sent with a full packet of orange-scented, spongy-based chocolate-topped biscuits.
Biscuits or cakes?
Well, I would say they're a biscuit, because you know.
And can you put one in your mouth whole?
I've never tried. Should we do that?
We'll try that.
Okay.
7:30.
It's going to be a very quiet hour.
I hope Yanis has made coffee as well.
I'm bringing snacks.
You're bringing snacks. I love it. So thank you. Thank you for sharing the hour with us. Thank you for taking advantage of that one-day special, as many of you have. Green, again, is the one that's kind of a little bit ahead of the others at the moment, but it's not too far ahead. They are all proven to be very, very popular, but you've still got time to take advantage of that happy hour deal as well. But not for much longer, to be honest. You've probably only got about 4 minutes or so, because, of course, at 8 o'clock, and of course teal is Hayley's favourite, so whichever you fancy going for, the details are on the screen for your one-day special, and the details for your happy hour at the bottom of the screen. Talk about happy hour deals and deals just for the hour. That's what we're bringing you in the next hour with Good Evening Hachanda, so I hope you will meet myself and Yanis the other side of the break to take advantage of those deals. Hayley, thank you.
Thanks, Hayley.